the enigmatic queen. Beneath the golden sands of Egypt lies a complex network of tombs, temples, and undiscovered secrets, testament to a civilization that dominated the ancient world for 3 millennia. Yet one mystery continues to elude modern archaeologists: the final resting place of Cleopatra VII, the legendary last queen of ancient Egypt. Despite centuries of research and exploration, Cleopatra's tomb remains hidden in obscurity. Did she truly rest alongside her lover, Mark Antony, as historical accounts suggest? What royal treasures might still lie intact within her burial chamber? And what if the entire story of Cleopatra's death isn't quite what we've been led to believe? Today, we follow leading archaeologists in their search for this lost tomb, a journey that traverses not just the landscape of modern Egypt, but also time itself, back to the golden age of the pharaohs and the final secrets of the Ptolemaic dynasty. The legacy of a queen. To many, Cleopatra is merely a seductive figure of Hollywood films, an icon of beauty and allure. But the historical reality is far more complex. Born into the Greek-origin Ptolemaic royal family, Cleopatra VII ascended to the throne at just 18 and ruled for 21 turbulent years. She was not just a shrewd leader, but a brilliant diplomat who skillfully used political and personal power to protect Egypt from Roman conquest. Cleopatra wasn't just a beautiful woman, explains Dr. Colleen Darnell, a prominent Egyptologist, but a leader fluent in at least 9 languages, a trained mathematician and philosopher. She was the last pharaoh of Egypt, the final ruler in a lineage stretching back 3,000 years. When we look at her life, we see a brilliant political strategist who gambled everything to save her kingdom from Rome's grasp. Underwater explorations in the Mediterranean. At Alexandria's modern harbour, Professor Imad Khalil from Alexandria University and Dr. Ross Thomas from the British Museum are preparing to dive into the Mediterranean. Their mission to explore the remains of Cleopatra's ancient capital, now submerged beneath sea level following powerful earthquakes over centuries. At its height, ancient Alexandria was the greatest city in the Mediterranean world, Dr. Thomas explains while checking his diving equipment. With approximately 500,000 inhabitants, a library containing hundreds of thousands of papyrus scrolls, and a lighthouse standing over 350 feet tall, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Yet now, a significant portion of the city lies underwater. As we follow the archaeologists 20 feet below the surface, an astonishing landscape emerges. Amid sand and seaweed is a ghost city. Massive granite columns, fragments of sphinxes, and even what's believed to be part of the entrance to the legendary lighthouse. Each artifact is a puzzle piece in the larger mystery of life in this ancient city. Underwater discoveries give us unique information that can't be found in textual sources, Professor Khalil says as he resurfaces, carrying an exquisite pottery fragment. Artifacts are often better preserved underwater than on land. Every dive, we see things that have never been documented. But modern Alexandria is a crowded city of over 5 million people built directly on top of the ancient one. This makes land excavations nearly impossible. Beneath Alexandria are other Alexandrias. Khalil smiles, and one of them might contain Cleopatra's final resting place. The spiritual path. Cleopatra and Isis. In the Valley of the Kings in Luxor, 500 miles south of Alexandria, John and Colleen Darnell are studying ancient messages that might lead to Cleopatra's tomb. They're exploring the tomb of Pharaoh Seti I, one of the most elaborately decorated tombs in the valley. What we're seeing here is special. Colleen points to a vivid carving on the wall. This is the goddess Wadjet, the protective symbol of the pharaohs. She typically appears as an Egyptian cobra. John adds, according to legend, Cleopatra committed suicide by snake venom. Her choice of death wasn't merely practical. It was a symbolic choice, connecting her to ancient Egyptian pharaonic tradition. This leads to another crucial clue, Cleopatra's connection to the goddess Isis. At the Temple of Dendera, they're studying a rare carving of Cleopatra herself. This is extraordinary, Colleen points to the relief. Cleopatra is depicted as the earthly incarnation of the goddess Isis, wearing the distinctive royal attire with an elaborate crown. Beside her is her son Caesarion, Julius Caesar's son. This isn't just political propaganda, but a profound statement about her spiritual identity. Both Egyptologists explain that Cleopatra cleverly positioned herself as the embodiment of Isis, a goddess of healing and protection revered by both Egyptians and Greeks. This wasn't just clever political strategy, but her genuine belief, and it leads to a remarkable possibility. If Cleopatra saw herself as Isis, perhaps she chose to be buried at a temple dedicated to this goddess. This is exactly what Kathleen Martinez has suspected when focusing on Taposiris Magna, an important Isis temple in northern Egypt. Ancient mummies speak. In the city of Aswan, 500 miles south of Alexandria, Spanish archaeologist Alejandro Jimenez Serrano is leading a research team at the ancient tomb site of Kubet el Hawa. The site contains one of the largest sets of intact tombs in Egypt, and although they date from thousands of years before Cleopatra, discoveries here could provide important clues about royal burial practices. On a scorching afternoon, Alejandro's team makes a stunning discovery, a perfectly intact, gold-plated funeral mask, one of the rarest artifacts they've ever found. The quality of the mask is astonishing, Alejandro enthuses, as his team carefully removes sand grains from the precious artifact. The colors, the details, and most importantly, the preserved text. We can read the name of the original owner, Seti Hakaib, Inet. This discovery has much greater significance than first appears. Funeral masks weren't merely decorative, they were essential spiritual tools in the ancient Egyptian belief in the afterlife. Made from layers of linen or recycled papyrus, soaked in plaster, and then molded to resemble the face of the deceased, funeral masks often contain texts to help the soul in its journey to the afterlife. Not stopping there, Alejandro is undertaking another bold mission, using modern medical technology to study ancient mummies. In a dramatic nighttime operation, 6 mummies are transported across the city to a local hospital where they'll undergo full CT scans. 100 years ago, archaeologists would often open mummies, causing irreparable damage, Alejandro explains. Today, we can look inside without touching them, respecting both the artifacts and the culture. The scan results exceed their expectations. One of the mummies contains a perfectly preserved scarab amulet, a symbol of rebirth, placed exactly over the heart. This amulet contains spells believed to help the deceased's heart during the judgment of their soul. This is the first time I've seen an object like this still in its original position, Alejandro exclaims, his face lighting up with excitement despite the late hour. This isn't just an archaeological discovery. It's a rare opportunity to witness an ancient spiritual ritual exactly as it was performed. The mysterious tunnels of Taposiris Magna. Back at Taposiris Magna, Kathleen stands at the most important moment in her 13 years of excavation. Her team has discovered a 20-foot deep shaft leading to 2 carefully carved tunnels in the bedrock, one pointing north and one south. But the tunnels are flooded, preventing further exploration. These aren't ordinary tunnels, Kathleen explains, excitement evident in her voice. The quality of the stonework, the precision of the cuts. This represents a massive construction project. Someone invested tremendous effort creating these tunnels, and they must lead somewhere important. In a race against time, as her excavation permit is expiring, Kathleen's team is pumping water out of the tunnels. Frustration is evident as a series of power outages slow their progress, but Kathleen doesn't give up. She has another technology to deploy: military-grade ground-penetrating radar. This radar technology was developed to find tunnels and hidden chambers, Kathleen explains, as the equipment is moved across the area. It can see through rock to depths that conventional equipment can't reach. While waiting for the results, Kathleen finally manages to descend into one of the partially drained tunnels. The footage from her exploration is spectacular. A perfectly hewn tunnel carved from bedrock, leading to a mysterious door, almost completely covered by water. I tried to go in, but the water was too deep and I almost fell, Kathleen gasps as she climbs back to the surface. But I saw it. A door. After 2,000 years, we're the first to see it. I must explore that door. A ray of hope. On the final day of the excavation season, Kathleen receives the news she's been waiting for 13 years. The results from the ground-penetrating radar survey. With tears in her eyes, she reviews the data with the technical team. There's a large void beneath the temple entrance, the radar technician explains, pointing to the screen. A chamber about 10 meters, 30 feet wide. Kathleen is almost speechless. It's incredible. This fits everything I've researched. A large chamber, hidden deep beneath a temple to Isis. This could be the final resting place of Cleopatra and Mark Antony. Kathleen's discovery represents a significant breakthrough. The mysterious chamber lies directly beneath the temple. Entrance, a position of great religious significance in ancient Egyptian architecture. Building such an underground chamber would have required enormous effort and resources, and it was certainly created for a very important purpose. Possibly a royal tomb. With her excavation permit expired, Kathleen must return next season. But she has done what many archaeologists before her could not, found solid evidence of a potential royal burial area connected to Cleopatra. I will be back, Kathleen says, determination in her eyes as she looks toward the ancient temple. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Now I know exactly where to continue. Cleopatra taught us many lessons, but most importantly, perseverance. She never gave up on her kingdom, and I will never give up looking for her. Voices from the past. The hunt for Cleopatra's tomb continues, and each year archaeologists come closer to decoding one of ancient history's greatest mysteries. From the ancient temples of Taposiris Magna to the treasures beneath the azure waters of the Mediterranean, from cutting-edge technology to ancient relief carvings, each clue adds to the story of the extraordinary woman who ruled ancient Egypt. While Cleopatra's tomb remains undiscovered, the tireless efforts of Kathleen Martinez, along with countless other archaeologists, have illuminated many aspects of this legendary queen's life and times. The search is not merely about finding a tomb, it's about understanding a civilization, an era, and a woman who defied every convention of her time. As the sun sets over Taposiris Magna, the shadows of the ancient temple stretch across the sand, as if reaching toward the past. And somewhere, perhaps just meters below ground, Cleopatra, the last queen of Egypt, still waits to tell her final story.